Hey, good morning, guys. Mm, mm. Okay, let's see what we have going on here. So on the charts, uh, so for the 15-minute, 30-minute time frame, again, for those, it's just like forward testing the rejection scalps. So today we don't have any. Yesterday we had some during market open, but I wasn't live by then. So I was hoping we would have like some rejection here, but there's one coming up on gold here at around 28.85. So I've already put an alert here for gold, and I think it's both at the 30-minute and because this is a daily rejection area actually. So this one can be entered at the 30-minute or the 15-minute. So I'll just mark it up here on the 15-minute. So the idea is that we want price to break down this rejection level and go to like a dollar down, and then it would set a pending order. So it's either a pending order. So again, for this rejection scalps, it's something quick. So this would be like a $2 TP and $2 stop loss. So one way is to set a rejection, I'm sorry, to set a pending order. But yesterday during the live session, actually, we had one for US 30 and it came up so quickly. There wasn't even time to set the pending order. So it's either going to be setting the pending order uh, or entering it on the 5 second time frame. So I'm testing out both. Again, for this rejection scalps, it's pretty much just forward testing. I'm not really counting as an official trade until I get the optimal entry method. But again, still my main accounts, my main cons or my main entries are the 1 hour, 4 hour, and daily time frame entries. So I really this small scalps are pretty much for people who like being in quick entries, and also are sufficient for the people who trade futures accounts. So nothing on the 1 hour. Yesterday there was a perfect 1 hour rejection entry, and I took this. So I know in the live session yesterday we took a loss on this 4 hour rejection entry here on gold. However, I was able to make it back up at break even, and actually I took another trade at the end of the day, and actually ended the day up 2K for the day. But yesterday there was a perfect entry. This was an A plus entry on US 30, and I did send it. I did send the recap in the Discord yesterday. So if I go ahead and review this, you'll see here that we had this rejection, this hourly rejection candle, and then it rejected off of these two levels right here, right? So again, and I've noticed this pattern right here. When you have two rejection areas at the same area, especially a 4 hour and an hourly sell, I'm sorry, especially a 4 hour rejection, and I'll probably change the naming for this one. So especially a 4 hour and an hourly one, that is a pretty high confluence. Give me a second. There is a gold entry, but there's no closure above an SAR. But anyway, yeah. So we've taken a trade like this before, and I think it was, I don't know if, I don't recall if it was during the live session. So this trade satisfied three confluences. So it satisfied price was in a in a demand zone right here. And then in the markups, I'm still waiting for this to load. So in the markups, we had a hourly bullish order block right here. So price had literally come and tapped liquidity at the hourly bullish order block. So for me, what I use the order blocks for, I use the order blocks to tell me where is price coming from, or what did price do at that area. So when I saw that price, and I think it's not showing because I'm doing the bar replay, but once I finish that order block, I think it's still there. So we were in a green zone. We had a rejection off of a SAR level. Price had come and picked up buy side liquidity or buy side pressure from this. I think it was an hourly bullish order block, and then went up. So what I did, I just set a pending buy here. I could have gotten away with a 150 point stop loss, but based off of how US 30 has been dipping since Friday, I wanted to be safer with a 200 point stop loss and TP. And you can see for this one, yeah, so there's that order block. So it was a daily bullish order block. So daily all order blocks rarely come up. So, and then price came in, tagged the trade literally, no drawdown or just like a little bit of drawdown. And then trade went into profit. So that was a nice entry for yesterday. And this is the one that I did send in yesterday, or I did put it in the trade recap area here. So it was literally that same trade right there. So that was that was an A plus A plus setup yesterday on US 30. So those are the trades that they rarely come up, but once they come up, you'll probably get like 4 or 5 of this a month, but that's all you need to either be profitable or to make like 4% a month. So right now for US 30, there's nothing on the hourly. Here there was an entry yesterday um for a sell on the hourly, and let's see how this one would have gone. I think I did see this one, it was near market closure, and I think there was a demand zone. So price was in a demand zone for that one. I think it was what, somewhere here maybe. Yeah, so I saw this and it was during market, like literally before market closure. But the issue with this, and looks like it would have hit TP like this morning. But for me, I don't really force any trade. So yesterday, when we replay this, yes, there was another rejection entry on US 30. But if I recall correctly, yesterday in this zone, we had a green zone overlapping with the red zone. By the time I think this candle was closing, let me see where that rejection is. I'm still looking out to see if we get anything else here. Um, where is the rejection? It's taking forever to load. Yeah, but yesterday here there was an overlap with the green and red zones. So that's why for that hourly sell, I didn't take it. Yeah, so this one right here. So there's a possible buy on gold coming up in the next 15. So in the next 10 minutes. So here you can see we have this rejection area on gold right here. And then we're also in a bullish order block, a 4-hour bullish order block. The only issue with this trade is that we're not in a green zone. So we are not in a green zone. We're in a white zone, which is what I call a no man's land. So it doesn't satisfy all three confluences. But I do like the movement of gold because again, look at the order blocks it's rejecting from, right? So it's rejecting from this 4-hour bullish high, and it also rejected from this 4-hour bullish low order block. So, and given that we're in a zone of no, we neither have major supply or demand here, it's possible that gold can come down and reject off of, you do see this daily sell area right here. So reject here, come up here, and do something like that. So that's the best probable outcome for gold right there. So it probably will do something like this. So hopefully it does that. I have to get off the live session in like 20 or 30 minutes, but hopefully we do get this. I was hoping it was able to touch down a little bit here. So if it touches down a little bit here, the way we marked up on this 15-minute time frame, this would be good. The other pattern that's good also to look at with this order blocks is this candles. I don't know if they're called dojis. I haven't looked at candle patterns in forever, but this candle right here, because if you look at it and you ask yourself what caused this candle, right? So you go ahead and you check, you see this candle came down here, rejected off of this 4-hour bullish low order block, and went back up and closed as that. I think it's doji or whatever the name is, or either a doji or bullish hammer, or bearish, either a doji or a hammer candle, because you can have a bearish hammer and also a bullish hammer candle. The reason I'm saying that is if you look at my entry for US 30 yesterday on the hourly time frame, same thing happened, right? So if we go ahead and replay this, um, and we wait, so we already know because it probably won't load because of the replay. So oh, there it is. So we already know here that what is that? What is that? We already know here that we have a daily bullish high order block. And also we can tell that price rejected, price came down here, rejected from that daily bullish high order block and went back up, right? And then when it went back up, it created this, and let me just look it up if it's actually a doji candle. Let's see. It is yeah, doji, dragonfly. I guess depending on yeah, so it's like a dragonfly doji. So this one right here. So dragonfly doji, right? So I was already in that US 30 trade with a 200 point stop loss and 200 point TP right there, right? So when I saw as much as this trade price came almost to my TP, but then started coming back down. I chose to hold on to that trade because, again, you ask yourself, where had price come before then? So price had come, tapped into that daily bullish order block. I just want to make sure. There might be a rejection scalp sell on US 30 here. Give me 1 second. Let me set an alert here so that I don't miss it. 762, 772. So price has to come here first before I give me 1 second. Again, this 10, this rejection scalps will mostly be um forward testing. So it's just testing the best parameter, but I already put that there. So let's see if this actually materializes. 200, 200. Okay. Yeah. So for that, going back to this hourly, so this one, as much as it came close to hitting TP, but then price came back down, I looked back and saw that price had rejected from the daily bullish high, and then it created this dragonfly doji. So mostly when you see this pattern, price will keep pumping to the upside. So again, that's why I chose to stay into this trade because I did anticipate more movement to the upside. So eventually it did fill in and price kept moving upwards. Now, if we do the same recap for what's going on with gold right now, and I think that was on the 15-minute. Here you go. So you see here on the 15-minute, I really, if only we had like a rejection area right here, that would have been a nice trade to enter. But you can still trade order blocks by themselves. I know we've traded this like the first time I started live streaming, we were, there's a way we used to trade order blocks. We used to put like an order at the top of the order block, another order in the middle, and another order at the very bottom of the order block. But here, excuse me, if we do the same recap that I just went over for that hourly yesterday on US 30, what is price doing around this order block? So we have this movement towards the order block, and then price came in, tapped this 4-hour bullish low order block, went back up and created that dragonfly doji. So what do we expect after the creation of that dragonfly doji? So in this instance, it's a bullish. This instance, it would imply bullish momentum to the upside. So this one, you can enter with this, set your stop loss below the previous or the low of that doji. You could have even set the stop loss below the low of this hourly bullish low order block. Again, that's a totally different strategy. For me nowadays, I'm only trading SAR rejections because I'm just looking to take fewer trades within the month. But, here I really wish we had like a SAR rejection level. This would have been a perfect entry somewhere around here. But yeah, just be on the lookout for these patterns. Whether it's to the upside, whether it's to the downside, it shows reversal in price, because here it kind of shows that sellers tried to push price down, but then buyers brought price all the way back up. And the best thing the best case is when such a dragonfly doji is created because of a rejection of order block. So remember, the order block is you can use it to trade, but the order block is supposed to be like it's telling you something. It's like a news event. It's telling you, hey, this is what you can take from candles bouncing off of me, right? So just use order blocks to give you information based off of how candles are rejecting off of it. So yeah, so on this hourly one, unfortunately, I wish we were in so if we were in a green zone here on gold, I would have set a pending buy order on gold. But again, for me, I'll be looking to take a buy on gold at 28.84. Also, don't forget, we have this current running sell on gold. So this sell on gold we entered last week on Tuesday or Wednesday. So I did say it would be an intraday trade. I'm sorry, not intraday, a swing trade because we have a $80 stop loss on $80 TP. And ideally it's because we were next to the all-time high. So even for me, this trade is still running. And the best thing with this trade, you can see here, yes, we have a rejection area, which is where we have that potential buy for a rejection scalp. But overall, on the daily time frame, we have this hourly bearish order block. So if gold gets around 28.80 and closes below this rejection, below this daily rejection, and then retests it, we'll probably see a deeper correction with gold here. So this trade again for me, it's a swing trade. I'm still in it. It's yesterday during the heavy drop, it went to like 50%, 50% profit. But then we have some retracement. The other thing you can see to the upside, gold is creating all these rejections to the upside. So yesterday, gold closed below one, what is it? One, two, three, four, five rejection levels. And then after it closed below those five rejection levels, what did it do? It came and retested one, two, three rejection levels, and then now is on the way down. So if the daily closes below any of these rejection levels, we are probably bound to see a deeper correction with gold. But again, I'm still in this particular trade and just waiting to see if we finally hit full TP with it for the 4 hour time frame. So 4 hour yesterday, we got stopped out during the live session on this rejection entry. But also yesterday's trade, if you look at all these weeks to the downside, yesterday we broke a heavy support area with gold. So this area had tried to be broken multiple times. So, it was bound to eventually break and possible correction to the downside. And here on gold, if we start forming lower highs, and lower lows, you can see we can start coming back to that 28.50, 28.60 area. So for today, the days that we have live sessions are the days that we don't get trades really, but then the days that we don't have live sessions is when we get trades. So for right now, let's see if we get this US 30 rejection scalp, a quick one right here. But if we do not, that will be it for today. And this rejection scalps, I'm normally looking to take them between market open and 11 a.m. Eastern time. So between 9:30 to 11 a.m. Eastern time, because you want to take them during high periods of volatility. Looking at the trend line and SAR rejection. So let me share the other chart that has the trend line and SAR rejection entries. Let's see. So this is share. I think it's that one. So yesterday at the end of the day as well, I took a sell on gold. And let me just recap that one as well. Was it on gold or US? No, actually it was on US 30. I took a sell on US 30 yesterday, and I was only able to bank it on one account. I had a top one. I had the trade running on a top one account, and this people slipped me out of that trade. So I'm just out here trying to see if I can contest it. But anyway, so yesterday at 3:20, I think it was 3:20. Yeah, 3:20 Eastern time, there was an entry here. So this trend line and SCR rejection. Again, this trades come up rarely, but when they come up, they're pretty good. So so once you're doing a bar replay, sometimes you'll see an overlap in zones. But yesterday we didn't have this overlap in zones. So that overlap only came in during the uptick. So yesterday, the trade that I took yesterday, so we had a trend line. We had a trend line rejection on gold. I'm sorry, on US 30 here. And normally for this trend line rejections, I just wait for this rejection resistance. So that was the entry candle, and then it closed below this SAR level rejection. And then normally how I enter this, I normally set an alert, waiting for price to come back to that zone. And then I enter on the 5-second time frame. So I know we haven't had a 5-second time frame entry. So this is the only strategy I do not enter using a pending order. So for the trendline and SAR rejection entry, I normally set an alert for the retracement of price to the relevant SAR. And then when price gets there, I normally switch to the 5-second time frame. And then I wait for a crossover of the 5 and 9 EMA using one of the other indicators I have. So for this trade, I think yesterday my entry was, let me see, I think I still have that screenshot. My entry was at 43,709.4. So 43,709.4. So somewhere around here. So this is the use of using a 5-second time frame entry for this one, because sometimes because for this trendline and SAR rejection entries, you want to put your stop loss above the previous swing high or low. So if you wait for the 5-second entry, you can get a better entry. It doesn't always have to happen, but eventually it does happen. So I ended up taking a win on this trade for my main account. And then for my top one account, one of my top one accounts, they messed, or I don't know. It entered with like a 70 point stop loss and like 120 point or 123 point TP, which I never understood. But I was able to bank 2K on this one account. On that top one account, I only lost like $400. But yeah, so this is an example of the trend line and SAR rejection entry. We might need to move back to that US 30 chart. So here, so remember the trendline and SAR rejection strategy is my most profitable strategy, followed by the SAR levels rejection strategy. So let me share the other chart real quick, because I think we'll get that entry on US 30. I think it's this chart. So what we need here is for price to test this. And here you guys will probably, today I'll probably enter on the 5-second time frame. So we need price to go 10 points in before retracing. So we need to get somewhere around there. Yeah. So somewhere around there. So we need price to go up there first before retracing. So there's two ways. So when price gets up here, you can set a pending. Again, this is just forward testing. And these are just like testing we're doing. So let me see. So if that does materialize, this is the 5-second time frame I'm looking at here. So what I'm looking for is this axis. So this axis is just like crossovers. So crossover buys or sells. So what I'm looking for is for price to hit here. And then so long as price hits here, then I look for a crossover. So a candle with this X, and then I will take that one with like a 2020 TP and stop loss. The other option is to set a pending order. So once this alert is hit, you set a pending order here. So today, I think today I'll test out the crossover entry. But the best bet is to set a pending order, because what you're anticipating, ideally what we're anticipating here is that eventually this 15-minute candle will close under this rejection area. That's ideally what you're anticipating. So, and that's why you are looking to do a quick entry with it. So we'll see if this one comes up here. All right. So for gold on that hourly time frame, if anybody has confluences for a buy here on the hourly, this would be a it wouldn't satisfy. It would be this is like a C setup with the trend line and SAR rejection, but this can give you like a $10 TP and stop loss, but you just need to put a pending buy order at 28.97 area. So actually for this one, you'll probably be safer with like a $20 TP and stop loss. So in that case, you'd rather just wait for gold to come to 28.84 instead of having such a wide TP and stop loss. But yeah, so if anybody has confluences for a buy, unfortunately, I wish this was a green zone. If it was a green zone, this would have been an A plus setup because we are surrounded by two bullish order blocks. So an hourly bullish order block and a 4-hour bullish order block. So I really wish we had a green zone here or a demand zone here, and that would have been a A plus setup. But other than that, it's more of a B setup. So you see, this is what you're looking for right there. So what price is doing. So unfortunately here, price didn't come up like 10 points. It came up about 8 points. But you can imagine, so you hopefully you guys get the idea. So let's assume it had come up 10 points and it reacted the same way. If you had put a pending sell order there, or if you probably entered on the 5 second. So if we go to the 5 second time frame, I'll show you guys like a crossover sell. So crossover sell, this candle right here that has the X. So so let's just assume that it had hit the 10 point threshold, right? It would have been something like that if you entered with if you entered based off of the um, crossover. But if you are entering by setting a pending order, then you'd have when price was coming back down, it would have tagged in your pending order and already gone straight to TP. So we had already seen how price melted back to the downside. So the idea of this rejection scalps, which is the same idea as the rejection entries on the hourly and 4-hour, which have a wider TP and stop loss, is that when a rejection area is created and it's in a supply or demand zone, depending on the direction you're trading. And even better, it's surrounded by another block in the direction you're trading. Your expectation is that the candle will close below or above that rejection zone, depending on the direction you're trading. So if that is supposed to happen, because ideally you'd be looking into the future, if that is supposed to happen, then you ask yourself, what entries can I use to enter that trade if I expect a candle to close above or below a rejection level, right? So if you're scalping, that's why I have that threshold of you wait for price to zoom up 10 points above for US 30 or $1 above or below for gold, and then you either look for an entry on the 5 second time frame, or even better yet, once it hits that threshold, you go and set up a pending order at that area right there. All right, so here we've already hit that threshold there. So in this instance, right, we can start looking to see if we get a crossover sell here on the 5 second time frame. Now, keep in mind that we've already had that dip back down to the downside, right? We've already had that dip back down to the downside before even hitting that 10 point, threshold above the rejection area. So price already retraced before. So the question is it something you would be looking to take? So since for me, I'm looking to test out the entries with the crossover, I'll be looking to take it. But again, you guys remember, this is not a official trade. It's more of back testing. I'm sorry, forward testing. So the crossover sell, the red X took place there at 43,770. And I took it, so 43,770. So let's see if this is able. So the idea here is that 43,770. So the idea here is that we expect price, or we expect this candle to push back down all the way under this rejection level right there. So the beauty with the 5 second entries, it gives you a better entry overall, but the pending sell right here would be safer because here right now price is already above that rejection level. So remember, the idea is that you would be looking or you'd be expecting for price to close below this rejection level. It doesn't have to close below that rejection level, but if it does, then the 5 second entry gives you a better or a higher entry level. If if it doesn't, and you probably set a pending order, at least you will be, you'd say avoid a loss or something. So a pending order ideally gives you a safer entry. A 5 second entry gives you a more optimal entry. But anyway, we'll see how this one goes. It can easily, so you can see for this one, unfortunately for the 5 second one, this one would get tagged out. So again, we'll keep forward testing this ones during the live session. I wish we had hit that 10-point push before we had that overall push, like the one that I'd showed you guys when price retraced back down to the downside. But anyway, so for this ones do come up pretty frequently in during New York Open, so between New York Open and 11 a.m., and you want that quick liquidity, right? So you want to be in and out pretty quickly. So for this one, unfortunately, this one would not have played out if you're waiting for that 10-point retracement. Let's see here for gold. So here for gold, same thing, right? So we have another rejection level right here for gold. Now the question is, for this rejection level, do we have a... So the rejection one I'm looking at for gold is, and what time is it? 10:15. Yeah, so we have a red zone there, so that's fine. So for this rejection one for gold, what we're looking for, same thing. So same thing up there. But then this one would be a $2 TP and $2 stop. But then you would wait for price to go $1 above this rejection level. So somewhere around there. And then you just set a pending alert. There. So something like that as well. All right. So again, for this ones, I'll try to forward test as many as I can during the live session. But for me, primarily my entries hourly, 4 hour, and daily. That's what I'm taking on my main account. So this rejection scalps is just like forward testing and seeing how the trade would have gotten filled until I'm able to see the best entry for them. Because again, it's 20-point stop loss and TP is pretty low for US 30. $2 stop and TP for gold is pretty low as well, especially during New York session. So we'll see if this gold one will come up, and we'll just monitor it again for this gold one as well. Mostly I'm trying the 5 second entries because sometimes these pending ones they happen so fast and you may miss them. But so we'll see if in the next, because I'll stay on the live session for like 10 more minutes. So we'll see if we get this right here, if this one comes in. All right, so if we go back here for this US 31, the rejection scalp that would have gotten stopped out. So let's assume, and this is just comparison of the benefits of entering on the 5 second time frame and benefits of setting a pending order. So for somebody who had a pending order here, and then price obviously hit that 10-point marker that we are looking at, but did not come back here to the rejection area, that price kept going and going. Anybody who had a pending order here at this point, they would have just deleted that pending order, because remember, what you are assuming is that you would be assuming that that candle would close under that rejection area, which in this case, it did not happen. So since that candle closed above it, you would then end up deleting your pending order. So, and that's how you're trading the rejection scalp, is that your expectation is that the candle you're trading closes above or below um, closes above or below the rejection area. Same thing with here for gold, right? So if we have this rejection area right here that has been created, it's the expectation if you would take this rejection scalp right here, your expectation is that this 15-minute candle would close below this rejection area. And that is the analogy you're trying to use to ride price to your take profit. So let's see if this one happens as well. And if it does happen, how it plays out. All right, so I'll move back to the other chart that we were on to see if there's anything based off of the trend line and SAR rejection. So for US 30, nothing. We just had a close above this top trend line. So price in any case is closer to the resistance trend line than the support trend line. This is the trade I was going over. So nothing there for gold, nothing really. So gold is approaching the resistance trend line, which on the 15-minute, which is kind of good based off of, say, the idea of that rejection scalp. We're also approaching the resistance trend line right here on the 30-minute. BTC, I haven't traded BTC in forever, but I'm probably going to stop trading BTC or remove it from the chart soon. On the hourlies, excuse me, on the hourlies, price is far away from anything meaningful here. Yeah, so on the hourly, nothing. On the 4-hour, nothing. And on the daily time frame, nothing as well. On the daily time frame, yesterday on gold, we closed below this daily support trend line. But other than that, we don't have any closure above. We don't have any closure above or below any SAR level. So I'll stick around for maybe 5 or so more minutes to see how this candle closes or how this candle reacts to this zone. And afterwards, we'll just call it a day. But overall, I don't even think I'll be taking any trades on my accounts today because I don't see any valid rejection levels. We have possible sell areas on gold at 29.27, 29.30 area, but honestly, I don't know. I don't know if gold is going to get back up there. But you can see if I'm going to look to sell gold on my high time frames or higher time frames, I have all these sell areas right here on gold. So all I would just need here is an hourly rejection below any of these rejection levels, and preferably this one at the top here at 29.47 because it's closer to a hourly bearish order block there. So that would be a better scenario here. For US 30, there's this rejection level here that's created. And if we turn on the zones, it's not in a supply zone, so actually I wouldn't look to take this sell here as well, unless when price drives up, we create a supply zone up there somehow. That's the only way I would look to take it. But even that for US 30, it doesn't satisfy the the confluences. So yeah, for today, I don't think I'll have any trades on my accounts. Unless also, so gold, what I would like for gold for buys is for gold to come back down to 28.84. But yeah, so let's see if we are going to get a push above or push to this area. Uh, so the other thing for this ones is you want to look at the time of the candle, right? So this is a 15-minute candle. We have 7 minutes remaining before the closure of this 15-minute candle. So let's assume that this candle breaks above this zone. And by the time it's hitting 2909 area, it's like 30 seconds until the candle closes. So then at that point, if the candle is already above your rejection area, like 30 seconds or even a minute before the candle closes, what are the odds that price is going to in the last 30 seconds, like drive back down, right? So you also want to consider at what point this trigger of like a dollar or 10 point a dollar for US a dollar for gold and 10 points for US 30 is triggered. If it's triggered when the candle is like less than a minute to closing, then that probably means that that candle will not close below that rejection level or above that rejection level, and that candle will more than likely close above it. In this case, if you're selling, would close above it. So if that's if you're here and the candle has like 30 seconds left, it's more probable that the candle will close above this rejection area and then keep going to the upside. So if by the time that trigger is being triggered, the candle has like less than 30 seconds or less than 60 seconds to close, at that point, don't even look at taking that trade, because the probability that price will reverse back down is lower. But yeah, so we'll see if this one comes in. But if not, that will be it for the live session, and we'll catch up again tomorrow. I'm still working on the guide or handbook that has all these entries. It just takes like a lot of time, but so hopefully, when is today? So we're about to get into March. So hopefully by the end of March, should have that ready. Mm. Okay. Mm. Okay, so that trigger has so it's been triggered 4 minutes. So let's see how this one would go using a 5-second entry. So 5-second entry here on gold. So looking for that crossover sell. Mm. Looking for that red X, and let's see if this would turn out to be a winner. So again, this ones we're just forward testing. If you choose to take them, just make sure you take them uh with the proper risk. Again, this is just something new, and it's mostly beneficial to people who trade futures. I don't trade futures, but it's mostly beneficial to people who trade futures. So here, just looking for, so it's either that or you set a pending sell order at 2908. So pending sell would be safer. 5 second entry would give you a better entry to catch a reversal here. So we just need to see, and this is the same thing I did yesterday for that US 30 trade later on in the day. So pending sell order would be where? 2908.6. Pending sell order would be here. So you'll see the difference between entering on the 5 second and waiting for a crossover sell. However, remember, this is a 15-minute candle. It closes in 3 minutes. So what are the odds that, again, so you ask yourself, what are the odds that price is going to drop back below here in the next 3 minutes? So if we start getting too close to 1030, then well, actually, if it gets to 1029 and we are still above this area without even a sell entry, then there wouldn't even be any need of looking at it. So you see that X right there. Um, see if it closes. So not yet, you have to wait for the X to close. Okay, so there's that X. So the entry would be at 2910.8. So let's see how this one would go. 2910.8, that would be the entry of your rejection scalp. If you are looking to, or if we would be taking it, right? So there's two ways to take it. So it would be somewhere there, or you do like a pending order here. So again, remember, this one is just forward testing. It's not any official trade. This one, we are just looking at the price movement to find the best way to enter. Now you can see that the difference between these two areas, right? The difference between these two areas is that, and we are at 1029, right? So somebody who has a pending order is safer here, or somebody who had a pending order, because if we go back up there, you can see that this candle is above the rejection area. So what are the odds? So I'm actually glad this happened. What are the odds that this candle in the next 25 seconds is going to, shoot back down and close below this rejection level? Probably not high. So this probably means that this entry is going, or this candle is going to close above this rejection area, and in that case would be a break and continuation as opposed to a rejection entry. So you can see that, yes, on the 5 second, if price ends up, now anybody who's in this trade would be trapped, and we already have had, it's 1030, right? Price has closed above that rejection area. So price has not closed below here. So anybody who has a pending order here, at this point, they would go ahead and do what? And delete the pending order, because the anticipation would be that when price shot up here, it would have come back down quickly. But now anybody who had entered here on the 5 second, they would be in drawdown, and almost and actually wouldn't even be looking good for them. On the other hand, if let's say price had shot back down heavily, the person with the 5 second entry would have a higher or a better entry point. So it's all about, you just find your sweet spot. Are you going to, would you rather wait for a safer entry, or would you rather, roll the dice and get a better entry? But anyway, so I have to go. Let's see if this one, how this one would go. Let's see how this one would go for the 5 second one. I'll stay on for like a minute more and see. And in this instance, I wouldn't even categorize this as a rejection entry, right? Because it did not enter, um, or this candle did not close back below. But so this person say you'd have gotten trapped in this area, and now you'd just be looking to see if price is going to go there in your direction. So it's just about finding the balance. Would you rather have a safer entry by doing a pending order? Pending orders ideally are safer and give you like a nice clean entry. Some of these market execution orders are pretty, sometimes they can trap you in some positions. Alright. So what else? So nothing on the hourly again, nothing on the 4 hour, nothing else on the 15 minute. Oh. Okay, so this one is just going back and forth. Uh, because I have another call right now. But anyway, so hopefully that makes sense. We'll see. Let's see. Mm, I really want to see how this one ends up before I log off. All right, so looks like this one would have ended up hitting. We'll see. It's 29, a dollar away or 80 cents away. So unless something major happens, so if you look at this here, if you guys remember the break and continuation entries, which I really don't like trading, if you have a break above a SAR level, normally you would expect at some point for price to retrace and tap that rejection level before going up. So that's another good thing with this one. And I think it just hit. Yeah. So this one just hit full TP. So for today, it would be like a break-even day for the rejection scalp. So there was one loss on US 30, one loss on gold, gold entry, what is it? Yeah, both of the entries were based off of the 5 second time frame. Now you can see anybody who had a pending order here at this point, they would have even deleted the pending order because the candle closed above. But gold right now, if you look at the 15 minute here, I think this is the pattern that will play out. So I think it will do a break and continuation entry. I still think gold will come back down a little bit lower to maybe go and pick up the buy here, somewhere around here. But we'll see how that goes. So, and given that it's almost 11, so even for me, I'll delete this alert since I'm not looking to take any rejection scalps after 11, 11 a.m. And I know it's almost 11 a.m. So I don't think gold will, superbly drop in the last 30 minutes or so. But yeah, so for today, if we were taking those rejection scalps as official trades, it would just be a break-even day. So one loss on US 30, one loss on gold. So we'll keep forward testing this rejection entries until we find what area or what entry is better. Is it better to enter on the 5 second, which ideally gives you the top entry, helps you catch the bottom or the top of a move? Or is it better to set a pending order? In this instance, anybody who had set a pending order here, they would have deleted it because price closed above there. So for me, I'm more, sometimes I would rather, I like entering on the 5 second time frame since I'm used to entering it using the trendline and SAR rejection entry. So I'm comfortable doing that. I'm also comfortable with setting pending orders with the SAR levels rejection entry. So for me, I can do either. But for somebody who's more conservative, I recommend doing pending orders. But other than that, I'll see you guys tomorrow. If we do have a live session tomorrow, if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out in the Discord, and then I'll talk to you guys later. All right, guys, peace.